Testing 1 2. evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Performance Trust Field on the campus of Wheaton Academy for tonight's varsity soccer contest between the Timothy Christian Trojans and the Wheaton Academy Warriors. At this time, let's meet the starting lineups. First for Timothy Christian. In goal, number 0, Kyle Tooney. Number 6, Michael Vogt. Number 8, Ben Roll. Number 9, Zach Orange. Number 10, Jonathan Stremler. Number 11, Matt Van Zielt. Number 14, Andrew Petrulakis. Number 15, Andrew Vogt. Number 16, Isaiah Whitaker. And number 18, Josh Wise. And on the starting lineup for the Wheaton Academy Warriors. In at number 1, RJ Simmons. Number 3, John Austriaco. Number 7, Owen Setron. Number 9, Jack Lichty. Number 11, Logan Finnegan. Number 13, Brian Henry. Number 14, Chris Eklund. Number 15, Elijah Lebo. Number 21, Jeff Kilgallen. Number 22, Seamus Kilgallen. And number 23, Daniel Richenkov. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats. And join me in an opening prayer, followed by the playing of the national anthem. Let's pray together. Lord, we give you thanks and praise tonight for the privilege of being here in order to witness the competition between these two great schools that honor and glorify your name. We pray that all that is done and said tonight would be to your glory and to your honor. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from Performance Trust Field. It's Thursday night, September the 6th. A chill in the air tonight. A beautiful fall night, even though it's not officially fall yet. You can see the sun kind of setting off in the background. Wheaton Academy Warriors going up against Timothy Christian tonight. Timothy Christian, the Trojans, last played Wheaton Academy in the first game of the season last year as Wheaton Academy beat Timothy 9-1. They're looking for a different outcome tonight. Of course, the Warriors want to get off to a quick start. Warriors are 6-0 so far this year. Let's introduce you to some of the starters for tonight's matchup. The offensive starters for tonight, we have Owen Setron, Jack Kilgallen, and Daniel Richenkov in the forward positions. They're going to put a lot of pressure up front and up top, along with Brian Henry and Logan Finnegan in the midfield. For defense for Wheaton Academy, we have RJ Simmons, Eli Lebo, Elijah, but I nicknamed him Eli there, John Austriaco, Jack Lichty, and Chris Eklund. That defense has been phenomenal. Letting up 1 goal in 6 games. Credit the goalie, credit the defense. Tonight, I am joined by freshman Aiden Iovane. Aiden, thanks for coming. What do you hope or how do you think the Warriors would get off to a good start here? What's a key to their game?
I think a key to the game is good defense and good attacking in midfield.
Absolutely. You know the name Kilgallen, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Kilgallen twins, Jack and Seamus, have been a large part of Wheaton Academy's offense. We'll look for them today. You can see them lined up right in the middle of the field, number 21 and number 22. Jack with the ball, going to be passing the ball immediately back to get this thing started. So Wheaton Academy has only let up one goal this year, so if Timothy gets off to a fast start, that'll put a pressure on Wheaton Academy that they have not seen so far. And there's a quick takeaway. We'll introduce you to some of the players on Timothy Christian as well. That's number 9, Zach Orange, with the ball and the double team there by John Ostriaco to win that ball back over. Talking to Coach Brook, he said there might be just a slight home field advantage for Wheaton Academy. You saw them play in the first game of the season, didn't you, Aiden?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, they looked pretty comfortable on turf field. That was a pretty good game against a good opponent, Batavia, right?
Yep.
So in that game, I think we got started with 10 minutes of no scoring, but we had a lot of pressure up front. Their most recent victory, I believe, came off of St. Ed's. I could check that fact later on. But some notable victories as Timothy tries to drive the ball. It looks like they're going to try and drive the ball to this guy, Zach Orange, a lot in the midfield on the right-hand side. Owen Cetron giving the ball to Jack. This is where Jack is deadly. Jack has a shot on goal. Sailed long. Jack passed to his brother Seamus there. Jack is deadly with assists. He has 11 assists this year so far out of 6 games. So he's averaging just under 2 assists a game. Warriors move the ball back and forth, trying to get possession, start to drive it up a little short there by John Ostriaco as he delivers that. A lot of talk and chatter out there so far. I'll introduce you to one starter we didn't talk about, Seamus Kilgallen, the brother of Jack Kilgallen. A pretty good offensive threat for Wheaton Academy. Seamus leads the Warriors with 6 goals, and then he also has 3 assists as the Warriors don't get anything going up the middle there. It's pretty obvious who their goal scorers are. Owen Cetron lets that ball go because he was offsides. Pretty good pressure by the Warriors so far. Putting the ball downfield, seeing what we can get. A lot of stuff on their half of the field so far. What do you think, Aiden? Do you think they prefer a chill in the air like this, or would they want something a little hotter?
I would prefer chill in the air, I guess. I bet you they would too.
Yeah, maybe takes a little longer to warm up. Not used to it. It hasn't been that cold in a while. But, man, they're not going to cramp up as quickly. Probably don't have to hydrate as frequently. Nice move there by John Austriaco on the left-hand side. For those of you tuning in tonight, well, thank you. I know the NFL's going on. I'm following it. I got a couple of players in the draft that I wanted to check out. I was watching Around the Horn today, and they asked the guys to pick the winner, Eagles or the Atlanta Falcons, and one columnist picked the Birds. That's a pretty safe bet since they both fall into that category, but he got knocked off points because he was a little timid in his response. Warriors getting the ball down into that box again. Not much happening so far. There's Brian Henry with a head. So we talked about this defense being anchored pretty well back there as the Warriors give up the ball here on the 35. Zach Orange not able to get past John Austriaco, but John Austriaco took it a couple of steps too far. Timothy with the ball back. Will give and go. Seeing if they can cross the ball over. Haven't been able to do so yet. Did get something on it. Warriors able to clear it out. So it looks like they play a pretty spread out defense, 4 wide.
Yep.
Have a couple of different options for defense, right? One, you have this kind of sweeper stopper look. You've seen that in the World Cup a couple of times. Then you've got this 4 wide look. Looks like if we were going to name someone who plays sweeper, it would be Jack Lichty there in the back. Warriors trying to get across, not able to do so. I think that's Chris Eklund down there.
Yeah.
So looks like he's saying that this is a corner kick. Warriors tend to keep someone close in this situation, but that was played by Timothy pretty quickly. Ball's in the air. Keeper gets that high. Nice replay here, showing that the keeper using his height, athleticism to get pretty high above the rest of them. Speaking of keepers, we got a keeper of our own, R.J. Simmons. Man, R.J. he's a technical keeper. I was talking to Coach Brook today, or Coach Salvaggio, actually. And, by the way, want to wish Coach Salvaggio a happy 32nd birthday, celebrated yesterday. I coached Coach Salvaggio here for Wheaton Academy Soccer a while ago at this point, since he is 32. But he's their goalkeeper coach, and I asked what the difference was between J.D. Gunn, as an out of bounds was called, as you saw there on our screen, what the difference was between J.D. Gunn last year and R.J. this year. And he mentioned that R.J. is much more mechanical. He can do things in a technical way that J.D. used his athleticism to do. R.J. is a pretty tall guy.
Yeah, he's really tall.
Advantage for a keeper?
Yeah, definitely.
Is there a weakness to a tall keeper?
Maybe usually like diving.
Yeah. So on the ground kind of things, which I was watching him in warm-ups, and he was doing a great job of like contorting his knees in a way that would block more of the ground, because he can get pretty much everything up top. I heard against St. Ed's, he made some great plays. He only has 8 saves on the season after 6 games, if that tells you anything about our defense. So our defense is protecting him, but when he has been challenged, he's done a great job. We've seen the only goal he gave up this year, and that was in the first game of the season against Batavia. We have a couple of camera angles here tonight trying to give you to see some of that. You see Seamus with a little pretty play there. Great footwork, giving the ball back to his brother Jack. Seamus gets the ball back in. Yes, an easy goal. An outstanding play by Jack, and what do you know? Jack assists his brother, Jack Gith, with his 12th assist, and Seamus making it look easy. Great replay there by our crew. Seamus giving the whisper sign.
Nice give and go there.
Absolutely. I mean, there's obvious connection between those two brothers. Let's just take a look at our schedule while we've got a dead play here. Batavia we won, Geneva we beat, Elmwood Park we beat, Wheaton South. These are huge teams. Cayuga Valley's been phenomenal. St. Ed's we most recently beat, and here we're Timothy Christian on the seventh game of the season. Just so you can see this replay, we kind of missed our chance. That ball just going wide. So Wheaton Academy. Don't coaches say when you're playing here soccer, right, like 2 minutes after the goal is scored, that's like a huge time?
Yeah.
Like teams drop in intensity all the time, and you're trying to push that ball a little bit more. You see Warriors they're feeling it right now. They're moving the ball down at a little faster pace. And if there was one thing that was a key to this game, it was Warriors score first. Because they are not used to games when they play down. We'll see how they handle this lead here. Now we'll show you a couple of game changers that we put together here today.
Presented by Studio 22.
Absolutely.
RJ Simmons.
Yeah, our keeper.
Kilgallen twins.
Jack and Seamus and.
Early goals.
And we needed that early goal. RJ's been phenomenal so far. And the Kilgallen twins have led the charge in that goal.
Yes.
So, I mean, I guess what we need to make that stat that we put together before the game even better is we got to have one great save by RJ.
Definitely.
Not that we want pressure on our own goal, but certainly those three factors go into a Warrior victory all the time. There's Seamus with a little touch. Oh, and almost a beautiful play by Jack with a back kick there. Not able to get it. So Warriors offense, let's talk about it again. So we got Owen Cetra, number 7, kind of bending over, pulling up his socks right now. You have Jack Kilgallen right behind him. Then you have, coming off the field right now, Daniel Rinchenkov. He's being replaced by a sophomore, Sam Froslet. When I say sophomore, I think Sam's actually a junior. I apologize. A free kick there by Wheaton Academy. He's not able to get much. Warriors kind of playing around in the midfield. There's Logan Finnegan, number 11. Logan in media art class.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aiden and I with Logan. Media art class is where soccer skill begins. Well, I guess we can throw out a shout out to our graphics guy, Jake Russell, as well, and he's also a participant in the media art class. And the school photographer down there, Ben Spooloff, he's 24, 25 years old, but at one point he was in the media art class. Oh man, all the good skills coming out of there. Let's bring up that graphic here for a second as the play's kind of going on behind it. Jack Kilgallen recorded on that pass for Seamus his 12th assist of the year. He has 3 goals so far and 6. This is the 7th game. So 12 assists. We put up the graphic on our WATV Instagram account. So that is a I'll show you our Twitter or our Instagram handle. So if you're watching here tonight, you're on YouTube, of course. Maybe you found the link through one of the channels. Most likely, we have a lot of Twitter followers. But on Instagram, we're putting up our ads for these games as well as what we're doing with our WATV class. Got a new segment coming out. There's a cross, goes behind the goal, just misses. Not a real threat, not going to be considered a shot on goal. WATV, happening every Monday at community time, has a new segment coming out on Monday. I would catch that if you could. It's called Our Ready, Set, Talk. It's going to be led by Jimmy Paganis and Peter Crow, and they're going to talk about topics relevant to the sports world. The first topic that they introduce is LeBron versus MJ. That's a tough topic around Chicago. Your thoughts, Aiden?
I say MJ.
Yeah, I mean, we got Chicago Bulls in our blood, right?
Yep.
I mean, he's been the history of what MJ has done for our city and who he was as a player. Now, Jimmy's argument is LeBron is better, and LeBron's got the statistics to prove it. Peter says statistics don't say everything. There's Jack Kilgallen. He's trying to figure out what to do there. Didn't get anything on it. So their second topic was to talk through if we should have girls lacrosse at Wheaton Academy. Boys lacrosse, man, that's an up-and-coming sport. It's actually now an IHSA sport. I believe it's starting this year. So we have a lot of football athletes that do that, a lot of wrestling athletes that do that. You ever play lacrosse, Aiden?
No.
You ever seen it played?
Yes. College.
Yeah, so that's usually where I saw it too. And, you know, some of those powerhouses like Virginia and Duke, you know, those ACC powerhouses. There's Timothy with a stab, able to get it to Zach. Let's see, number 7. I'll give you his name, Carson Hooker. Those powerhouses make lacrosse look easy. I know it's not that typical, but we have lacrosse lines on our field. Our field has been dedicated for lacrosse as well as football as well as soccer, which is one of the reasons why we got a turf field, not just our traditional. If you are an old school Wheaton Academy soccer player, you remember the purity of our field. We had grass. The lights kind of shimmered as the dew mounted on that grass. Oh, man, it was a beautiful sight. But this turf field never gets beat up. There's Sam Frosler with an attempt. Timothy forces it out on the sidelines on the right-hand side. So a throw-in for Wheaton Academy. And a pretty credible threat here. They do pretty well in the corners here, so we'll see what happens. Come back to the topic of grass and turf in a second. Number 9, Jack Lichty getting up for that header. And Eli Lepo just getting enough of a head on it. That's where that defense is so productive. Just getting some touches. Well, to go back to the topic, there is a lot of girls' interest in lacrosse. We just got guys lacrosse started, so maybe that'll happen down the road. I'm not sure, but I believe girls lacrosse is during this season right now, the fall. So that would have to compete against soccer and football. And those are already sharing a turf field, so we'll see what happens. But another hot topic that they chose was Wheaton Academy soccer. I don't know if you know this, Aiden, but we finished 3rd in state last year.
Yeah.
3rd in state is a tough thing to do.
Definitely.
Got to go win a number of games, and the competition gets harder, and RJ gets to touch it. Let's go, RJ. But because we're 3rd in state, they moved us from what is called Class 1A, 2A, and 3A. They moved us from 2A, the middle of the pack schools, which we got 3rd in state from last year, to the top in the state. To put it in perspective, Timothy Christian plays in 1A, and they're pretty competitive. They're going to do well in state. They're going to challenge the rest of the state in that small school division. But Wheaton Academy has to play against the largest schools, which, I mean, if you're playing against West Chicago, they've got some pretty good talent there.
Yeah.
Then there are, I don't know, probably 2,000 people or so.
There's a lot.
And with a lot of people comes a lot of talent to sift through. There's Owen Setron with a nice touch. Pulls that thing back. And a pretty good save by that keeper.
Nice strike.
Absolutely. I actually thought Owen got a better foot on that than I expected. He had a little bit of daylight there. Was able to pull that thing. So doesn't look like we've got a replay there for you. But, yeah, playing against the likes of West Chicago. Well, West Chicago is actually a pretty small school in terms of a large public school. You know, you have Glenbard North, you have Naperville North, Naperville Central. It's why Wheaton Warrenville South is on our schedule. Beating them 3-0, that's a pretty big deal. So tonight, again, I told you, Aiden Iovan's joining me on the color. I'm Matt Hockett. One of the easiest ways for you to follow what's going on is on Twitter. We're going to retweet Waboys Soccer all the time. We're going to give you latest updates. We've got a football live stream coming up. We'll give you that link. But you can follow us on Twitter there at the Real Wa TV, and that allows you to, if all you do is create a profile and follow us, and maybe Waboys Soccer and Wheaton Academy, then you're getting the information you need. You don't have to follow. Who's a bad person to follow on Twitter? Celebrity.
I have no clue. I don't have Twitter.
Man, you got to get on Twitter, Aiden. Yeah. But I know who. Kanye. Kanye would not be a great follow on Twitter. I mean, it would be surprising, but you're going to get more relevant information on the Real Wa TV. We'll give you what you want about Wheaton Academy at any given time. So today, actually tonight in the atrium, our crowd seems a little thin as John Ostriaco takes things away here, and Warriors maintain possession in the middle of the field, which they've been doing a great job of. You can see 17 minutes left in the first half of this game. Warriors with a comfortable 1-0 lead. Really have no credible threats so far down there on the other end. Today in the atrium right now, Wes Stafford, I believe he's the president emeritus or CEO emeritus of Compassion International, is speaking to a bunch of people in to invited guests. This guy graduated from Wheaton Academy. I believe he spent 1 year or one semester. Dangerous play is called on Sam Fraslett as he's playing the ball on the ground. 1 year at Wheaton Academy, and he says it changed his life. You know, not everyone gets to go to Wheaton Academy, you know. I would assume there are people in West Chicago that were going to public school in West Chicago that would love to go to Wheaton Academy, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be hard to turn this opportunity down if it was given to you. So most of the students are very appreciative of to their parents about coming here, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And you don't take this for granted. As Jack looks for a little window, he does get a window and strikes that thing well over the field goal. Little knee underneath the ball. You can see his little extra step, and then it just sails high on that replay. Nice camera work. By the way, camera work up there, Joaquin Ventimilla. And who's our other camera operator? Josh Martinez. Our editor tonight, Chas Luchanan. She's actually edited her second now game for soccer. So all good comments need to come back saying Chas is doing a great job. And all negative comments, well, you just don't need to be negative. Stop being negative. So, and our graphics tonight, Jake Russell, helping us out, bringing those things up. So we're going to give you live streams of some of our major sports at Wheaton Academy. Timothy Christian with a nice little opportunity there, and Warriors poke that thing away. Trying to give you a number here on who that player was. I think that was Stemler, number 10. Oh, no, number 16, sorry. That's Isaiah Whitaker. We're going to live stream football for you tomorrow night against, you've got to tune in. If you're not at the game, you got to tune in. It's against 3-time state champion Immaculate Conception. The last time we played them, it was sideways rain at homecoming. And I'm going to blame our loss on the rain. I feel like Immaculate was prepared for the rain. Of course, they also went on to go undefeated and win the state championship, so maybe it wasn't just the rain. But this game is going to happen at 7:15 tomorrow evening. We had some technical difficulties last game for football. I apologize if you tuned in. I think that's a shot on goal, and that's considered a save for R.J. Simmons. You notice, though, that when he got it, he went down to the ground.
Yeah.
He took his knees, and he dropped to the ground to pick up that ball. That's what we're talking about with that technical thing, you know? Don't you think a mistake could be made with a big guy where if he's just leaning over, instead of going all the way to the ground, the ball might just skip through, right?
Yeah.
Sun setting right over Wheaton Academy. This is one of my favorite views. In the press box, climate controlled, newly climate controlled. Got some heat in here. If you get cold during a game and you want to come in and say hi to the Real Raw TV as we broadcast, you come on over, you get warm. We'll give you even a shout out on the air. Speaking of shout outs, if you want to email me at mhockett, Hockett, at wheatonacademy.org, let me know where you are coming from, where you're listening. We had people from Pennsylvania, Arizona. We had one from, and there's my Twitter handle. Give me a shout out on Twitter, Hockett Matt on Twitter or Instagram, actually. And let me know that you're watching and you found this on Twitter. And that you use Twitter for that. That'd be really helpful information, actually. Or on YouTube, you can post those comments right there on our YouTube channel. But any information, good or bad, in terms of what you'd like to see in this coverage or how we're doing, please feel free to add that in. A little foul on the takedown by Owen Cetron. Playing aggressive. But I'd love to hear your feedback. So we got 11 minutes left here, Aiden. What do you think is the most important thing left in the half for these Warriors?
I would just say attacking and scoring.
Yeah, what's the advantage to trying to attack? What does that do for your defense?
It get your defense ready for any position. Like it could just turn like their defense could just get the ball and just like boot it to like a midfielder, and then they would our defense would get ready for that.
So our defense moves up, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I would assume. So I was watching World Cup soccer here recently. Some of the best teams are teams that are pretty unrelenting up front. All of a sudden, it makes their defense look amazing if their offense is constantly putting pressure on, because the team is just trying to keep the ball out of their backfield. I mean, you see a lot of teams under pressure just try and play long kickball, right?
Yep.
And that just gives the ball right back to you. It makes it into a little good cycle. There's a ball played back to RJ, just a simple touch so that he doesn't make a big mistake there. Good job by him. We have number 13, Aaron Alonzo, down on the field right now for Timothy. We're looking to call in a sub. So Timothy's going to sub in Jonathan Stremler. He'll come back into the game. He started the game. What we said about Timothy early was that they lost to Wheaton Academy 9-1 last year. That was an oddity. They were really good. It was the first game of the season, and you could tell that Timothy was struggling. There's a good shot of Alonzo coming out the field. Looks like he's okay. Just because we stopped play, he's going to have to walk off. Our trainer there with him, making sure he's okay. But Timothy went on to a pretty productive season. Both teams in the next game of the season are going to be playing in the Pepsi Showdown. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and Google it. That's your easiest way for instead of me giving you information. Pepsi Showdown is, I think it's 32 teams in each division, might be 64 teams at this point, run by Mr. Trost, who has run this for, I believe, 21 years now. Could be even a little bit longer. I think they celebrated a milestone last year. And we're going to be playing big schools. Timothy Christian's in kind of the lower division, and Wheaton Academy's placed it in the upper division. They've started to tier it this year. You have to play away at a stadium. Then if you win or lose, you play away or at home. Throw in for Wheaton Academy here. John Austriaco looking to take that throw in. So far, Warriors have been doing a pretty decent job moving the ball around.
Yeah, definitely. Good give and goes. Good long balls.
Have you noticed the impact of the guy who just took the ball off the chest, Jack Kilgallen?
No.
I mean, when he touches it, this kind of stuff happens where they feed the ball to him, and then he ends up distributing it. That seems to be a great role for him. He's got 3 goals on the season, but, man, he can deliver the ball to anybody else. Misplay there over in the corner for the Warriors. So we'll take this moment here for a second to talk about another player up front. Now, we are not saying his name a ton, and that's because the ball has been on Owen's side of the field so far. But this is Daniel Rinchenkov. Out of 6 games so far, he's got 3 goals, so just as many as Jack, 1 assist. And the combination of him, Jack, and Owen up front has really been lethal for Wheaton Academy so far. Daniel is a junior this year, played on varsity last year, and probably his number 1 skill is just pure hustle. Nice play by Timothy Christian to just keep walking the ball up the field. One of those classic soccer moves that everyone hates when they're watching it. I think that was a handball, not called. But every team takes advantage of that. There's Daniel with the speed. He's going to get to it before Timothy. Looks to turn it. Not able to get it all the way to, that was Seamus Kilgallen, so nice opportunity. But you notice Daniel Speed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a head-to-head race, and he wins those battles almost every time. Number 7 for Timothy Christian, Carson Hooker, able to try to get a shot there, not able to make that happen. Well, back to what's happening in the atrium. Wes Stafford from Compassion International is talking to our people right now. Wes is actually going to be speaking in chapel tomorrow to the student body. So far, can you just generally explain what's happening in chapels these days?
Chapel is basically we pray first, and then we sing, and then
There's a shot on goal just missed by Jack Kilgallen.
We talk about different verses and how that impacts life.
You able to name any of those recent chapel speakers?
Mr. Brooke.
Who is the Dean of Student Life and the head coach of this Warrior soccer team. Yeah.
Mr. Bowling?
Yeah, he was last week or last Tuesday. Boy, he's got a way with story, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good storyteller. And then you have,
Two.
who'd you say?
Mrs. Hocken.
I appreciate you saying that, my friend. The principal of Wheaton Academy giving a chapel charge. You know, I don't know too many Hockett's in the United States. I know there's another Matt Hockett out there. So if you're Googling Matt Hockett and you see someone from Iowa, that's not me. But I don't know any other Corey Hockett, spelled with a K. And she, of course, is my wife. We both work at Wheaton Academy. She's been here 19 years, is now the principal at Wheaton Academy. This is her second year doing that job. I've been here 20 years. I teach most of the graphic design, video, and photography classes that are happening at Wheaton Academy. A couple of media art classes taught by our other illustration teacher, Mr. Sean McCallum. Yeah, so Wes Stafford's going to come in tomorrow and speak to our student body about just kind of his experience at Wheaton Academy. It's really interesting to have someone that has been successful. What was a play on is now called back. No card is given, but they are going to put the ball down. Referee checks on him. Interesting to see and hear from people that have been successful that are coming back and saying, hey, I was part of Wheaton Academy. You able to check out that stuff about Todd Beamer?
No.
That guy, he played for Wheaton Academy soccer. Todd Beamer was one of the guys that went down in the plane for Flight 93. That plane that went down in Pennsylvania on 9/11. So Todd Beamer's catchphrase is in a lot of places nowadays, and that was "Let's roll." He said it right before they charged the plane to take down the plane from the terrorists. Really quite an amazing story, but you know, if you ask Dr. Frost, who was Todd Beamer's coach back then, he would say he learned everything on how to take down a terrorist plane and be a man of character in that moment on the soccer field and at Wheaton Academy. Of course, he went to other schools too, but we're going to say that a lot of it's from what's happening here. So you had a Project 9 lunch today. Who's your Project 9 guy?
My Project 9 is Justin Hocker.
And so it's a senior, yeah?
Yep.
And the goal here is to connect you with a senior. There's a ball delivered as we pull that ball back for 1 second. Looking for, you know, probably wanted a little bit more to Solomon Pitts on the far side. Was not able to get it there. 3 minutes left. Still good pressure, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so how many people are in your Project 9 group?
4.
Okay, and is 4 freshmen?
Yep.
4 freshmen, 1 senior.
Yep.
You met with him over freshman retreat?
Yep.
And this is your first time at lunch.
Yes.
What kind of guy is Justin?
He's nice. He likes to talk to us.
Yeah.
And ask us questions about school and how we like it.
And is this helpful to you as a freshman?
Yes.
I mean, I think it's pretty cool that, a senior's taking a moment and investing in you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you see yourself in 3 years at Wheaton Academy and you're a senior, don't you think you're going to be thinking the same thing at that point?
Yeah.
Someone invested in me, I want to invest in them.
Yep.
It's a cool little cycle. And as RJ comes out, getting the ball there on the ground, nice slide in as that happens. Here's that replay. Nice little close-up shot here, too. That close-up being worked on by Walk Ventimilla. Great job getting his hand on the ball. Good replay there. Justin brought pizza for you guys today?
Yeah, Justin did.
I saw pizza being delivered, from Pizza Now. I saw some people bringing in brownies. I saw some girls, they tended to have a few more snacks than you guys. You were just all about that raw, energy.
Yeah.
They tended to make things a little nicer.
Yeah.
But so I mean, in my personal opinion, I think the next time there's a lunch, I think Justin's group and you guys, you need to go find a girls group over there and you just combine snacks.
Yeah.
You got pizza, you combine it with brownies. I mean, maybe there's a teacher group in there that's going to provide some soda or something. And you got a whole meal.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap things up in here in 37 seconds here in the halftime. And probably take a 5 or 6 minute break before coming back to you. Maybe show you a couple of highlight replays from the first half. Maybe this is a highlight replay. It looked like he got clipped there. Owen not able to get it. There's Jack with a strike, but just off to the left-hand side. Pretty good looking. Good pressure right down to the wire.
Great ball movement.
This is exactly what you thought it should happen. We wanted to put a little more pressure on as the sun's setting here. By the time we get back from halftime, I think the sun's going to be gone. We're going to be looking at the rest of the time in an evening night game. We'll leave you for 5 or 6 minutes, but we will return. We'll give you the second half as the Warriors lead Timothy Christian Trojans 1-0. Join you shortly. I'm not watching everything. I'm just seeing the replay. It's an awesome replay. Yeah, that was a look of me though. Yeah, a bad moment. A bad moment. I've been watching this shot, and I sometimes watch this shot happen instead of how many replays do you? Like 10? Can we find the board? Can we find under the state?
That was perfect. That was pristine zoom. I'm glad we have a way to talk. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you consider if it was just listening over. Oh my gosh. No, you don't think we're gonna really? No. I told you to zoom in. I saw your screen. It was like they were identical, and he was like, "Oh, look, it's zoomed in." It's like the same. I swear you wanted me to lose the ball. I swear. The more you zoom in, and the more you lose the ball, the more you're able to find the ball because it goes to it.
We like lose gotcha.
Yo, turn that off.
Thank you.
I don't want my earbuds too much, man.
I was doing this.
Also, put your block on the left side.
Did you not see me dancing? I feel like I just made it.
I do like homework and stuff, like video games with my right hand, but like sports I use my left. You know that? Baseball. No, I use both. Sports is yeah.
We all came to an I wouldn't even notice. Stand up.
injured phase. Yeah, like I when I was in right, so I did it. Then I and cooking with a knife is actually better. You hold it like well, when you learn from business, you know in the ND filter? Yeah, turns down to nothing. Oh, it's on zero? Okay, zero's on zero? Yeah, like it looks green. Like presets on your stuff. Everything on mine is yeah, so mine's okay.
All right, welcome back. We noticed a drone above, and you never know about a drone. Never know about a drone because, I mean, unless you can see the person operating it, it tends to freak some people out. Some of these drones can go like 4 miles away, you know?
Yeah.
That's insane. Well, I'd say Wheaton Academy got off to the start we wanted, 1-0 here as they huddle up. Great shot by our camera crew. Let's give the shout outs again. That's Josh Martinez up top, giving you the wide shot. That one right there. Anytime you see the close up, it's going to be Joaquin Ventimilla. Our editor today, Chasley Channon, graphics, Jake Russell, Aiden Iovane next to me with the color commentary, and I'm Matt Hockett. Again, if you're just joining us here, we're at Performance Trust Field tonight, September the 6th. It is a chilled 64 degrees. Nice ball, yep. There's Daniel almost outrunning the ball.
Great curve pass, too.
Yeah, that fed really well. I just think that the thing was just a little short. You see how fast Daniel can get to something. He kind of had to slow down for that. But, 30 seconds into it, we have pulled down our graphic because Wheaton Academy's pressing already. Great save there by Seamus. Tries to thread the needle to Jack, not able to get it. Logan skips the ball over. Actually, that's out on Timothy, so that's Wheaton Academy's throw in there. That sunset is gorgeous tonight. Tried to put it off the chest, and ball just kind of skirted away there. Again, if you're joining us tonight, thank you. If you're watching after the fact, some of you tune in later and listen to this broadcast. I also appreciate it. Of course. I know tonight you've probably got some pretty good Cubs game going on. Cubs took a, I think, 4.5 game lead on the Cardinals and 4 games up on the Brewers, and it's going to come down to the end. As Seamus gets the ball over to Owen. Owen able to chase that thing down, looking to give the ball back. They like to play this ball short. He does play it over the keeper's head to Daniel. Able to get a foot on it, just nothing of consequence there. As Chris Eklund takes the throw into Brian Hendry, number 13, and just misplays that short. Also, we know NFL games are going on here, and so out of all those, and the U.S. Open tennis.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was a tennis coach for 17 years. I love myself some tennis. And Serena, I think, is in the semis tonight. I might go back and look at that on DVR. That's some good stuff. My favorite commercial right now is on what is it? ESPN, because they're playing all the Open on ESPN, and Serena's talking this old school song, "Mama's gonna knock you out." Mama's gonna knock you out. We'll see if the mom can take it to the U.S. Open. Timothy Christian maybe has 2 shots on goal, but they have not been that strong. I remember RJ getting down on the ground for one of them. Wheaton Academy's defense doing a pretty good job. Is that because their offense is doing a better job?
It could be either.
Yep, good offense. Might provide a good defense. Wheaton Academy soccer 6-0 this season.
Good record.
Yeah, and one of our topics of debate was before, is this team better than last year's team? I mean, that's a tough question because last year's team finished 3rd in state. Daniel Chenkov, nice cutback and a foul. A foul going the other way. They're calling on Daniel with a little hand checking there. And Timothy's bench all starts to cheer as if maybe that's happened before. I don't know if I've seen a start like this from Wheaton Academy Soccer. And this is coming from some returners. Seamus, Owen, and Jack definitely anchoring that returning team. But they lost some good players. Owen Hardy from last year. J.D. Gunn, our goalkeeper. Up top, our number 1 goal scorer, Luke Huerto, is phenomenal. In Academy, Seamus getting the... So Seamus has got his number 22. He's a twin of Jack Kilgallen. Nice job by Jack Lichty, just able to get a thigh in there to change things up for us. We'll show you Jack here in a second. We talk about this defense. This defense is phenomenal. There's Jack right now. He's on defense. He's one of the 4 on defense, doing a great job up front as Timothy Christian gets a long ball to play in. Nothing coming from it from our other defender, John Austriaco. But this defense is phenomenal, and part of it is really just Jack's not going to bring a lot of show to you. There, offsides is called. Just Owen throws his hands up. He didn't think so, but maybe that.
It was a close one.
Yeah, I guess you can watch it back on DVR later on the replay. So Jack does a great job of just being steady. You can tell if we get a camera angle towards the back of the field, he is behind all the other players. So he's probably playing as true of a sweeper as you can, which means Coach Brook thinks that he makes some of the best decisions. Coach Brook has a couple of people on his coaching staff that have been Wheaton Academy players before. Alex Earl as number 10 knocks into Daniel Rinchenkov pretty hard. I'm sure there is going to be a card given.
Yep. Yellow card.
And I thought initially that Whitaker got he was going to get the card because he came running over, but it is number 10, and that is Jonathan Stremler, who's going to be coming off, being subbed in there for Carson Hooker. It was a pretty heavy hit there on Daniel. Daniel went down, maybe sold it a little bit, but of course Daniel had to come off the field. He's now being looked at by our trainer, so we're going to see what comes of this. Wheaton Academy has the ball 10 yards further than the foul took place, and the referee didn't notice it, which is fine. I don't mind. They might give him a good shot. Logan gets a great foot on the ball, delivers it. Oh, man, that was close to Owen Cetron, I think, was the guy. Maybe it was Brian Henry, but I'm pretty sure it was Owen.
Great ball.
Take a look at this replay here. Just missing off to the right-hand side. So, oh, man, we're talking inches to get that goal. So that 10 yards came into play there. Nice job by Logan Finnegan to deliver that. And speaking of 10 yards, the referee makes Timothy go back 2 yards for that one. That's a shame. But that was a pretty heavy hit on Daniel. I hope he's all right. I think he was holding his knee earlier on. Good long ball there by Timothy. Told you, sun's down at this point. It's turning into a true night game. You can see our wide shot making that happen a little bit more. Cut back there, and actually the ball played by, I think, Jack, and cleared out. But that was a pretty close play. RJ did not have to do much with it. Ball is won by Jack, and I think what they feared was offside, so they'll let the ball go. Try and get the ball in the air here. This 1-0 lead, I think that came about 7 or 8 minutes into the game. That 1-0 lead has stayed this whole time. Play on is called. Logan did a nice job of winning that ball.
Nice ball.
Great ball, making the keeper come all the way out. Jack turns. Tried to get the ball to Owen Cetron, but what a beautiful strike by Logan again. Those are 2 in a row. That's a really good pass. The keeper did a really good job of getting outside the box. Not too many keepers would come out that far. Just a little misplay, miscommunication between Eklund and Seamus Kilgallen there. Pretty bad strike by the keeper there, and Wheaton Academy gets the ball right back again. Here comes Seamus Kilgallen, going hard right up the middle of the field. Jack following up, just kind of waiting for things to develop, and just too much in the middle there. That's some of their better plays, though. That's how Seamus got that first goal, you know, going right down the middle, little give-and-go action.
Yeah.
So as much as I'd love to see the ball on the outside, they get some pretty good stuff to develop straight down. Here's Jack trying to get the ball over to, let's see who that, that's Alan Rodriguez, number 24, into the game. I think he's into the game for Daniel. Daniel's still not into the
Nice
game.
give and go right there.
Yeah, and Owen with a good look. Nice little play. Seamus not able to get that foot on. I thought he was going to take a strike.
So did I.
Boy, beautiful work there. Just didn't get a final touch. Timothy Christian's only loss coming in a tournament that was further south, I believe, because their tie, as Owen looks to get a cross on this. Jack just couldn't get in front of the keeper. Nice job there. Their tie came from Glenwood Chatham, which is a team that has always done really well in state. So that's a good result. Talking to Coach Brook ahead of time, and that worried him a little bit. They beat Glenbard South, who is in their conference. And if those of you that don't know this, the MSC got reshuffled again. So our conference is the MSC. It looks like Alan Rodriguez missed a chance there. The ball went out to the far end line, so a goal kick is called. Substitute coming in, back into the game, number 10, Jonathan Stremler. So the MSC conference has some big schools and some small schools. You ever hear of the school St. Francis, Aiden?
Yeah.
That is one of our rivals. We're going to be playing them in football next Friday night. Tomorrow, we're playing Immaculate Conception. They are also in our conference. Timothy was on the other side of the conference, so they weren't technically, they were in our conference, but not in our level. Nice cutback play. Jack Kilgallen, ball at his feet, not able to get it, but Warriors still able to control this ball. Logan feeds the ball to Owen, and an offsides call is called on Owen, his second of the evening. So ball goes into the net, but an offsides earlier, so no goal is awarded. So, we're saying MSC conference, and Timothy was on the other side of the conference. Now they are on our side, so this is a true conference game. That means if the game is tied going into the end of regulation, we have to play based on IHSA results or IHSA rules. We have to play overtime. That is not always the case. Sometimes you just end in a tie. Sam Froslid coming into the game for Logan Finnegan, who has done an outstanding job in this second half. A couple of great feeds by him, huh?
Yeah.
Throw in for Timothy, still able to maintain control. That ball goes out of bounds. Let's show you Logan for a second. There's number 11. He's got 2 goals on the season, 1 assist, but making a phenomenal impact in the midfield. And if he comes back in, you'll notice him. He's made a difference in the second half so far. So Timothy on the corner kick here. Most coaches have 3, 4, 5 different set plays. Oh, and a swinging strike by Timothy. Not able to get a hold of it, really. Kind of skipped off his foot, and Wheaton Academy able to clear that thing out. Boy, the Warriors got pretty fortunate with that.
Tried to volley that in the bottom corner there.
Yep, that was a pretty good attempt. I mean, it was all or nothing, right? If he hit it well, it was going to be a goal, and unfortunately, he probably could have trapped it, right?
Yeah.
But then maybe not had a shot. So he had to take a chance, take the shot and one touch. Oh, poor pass by Sam Froslid. Gives the ball up. Thankfully, Wheaton Academy is swarming Timothy. We have 6 guys there. So our strategy has changed a little bit, it looks like, as the game has gotten later in this, or as the time has gotten later in this game. There's 25 minutes left. You notice like one person really up there, Jack Kilgallen, but we've got 5 to 6 on defense at any given time. We're not taking any chances. That's a strike. That thing sailed over the top. I mean, he got some good foot on it.
Yep.
You notice on the top there underneath the scoreboard, it says to follow us on Twitter or Instagram at The Real Watt TV. That is going to give you great information. Let me bring up a lower third with my information here. So I run the Real Watt TV. I put my email up this time. my email at mhockett@wheatonacademy.org. If you want to just leave a comment, if you don't want to leave a public comment, then just email me. Let me know where you're listening from. We'll try and give you a shouts out over the air. Again, appreciate everybody that's paying attention to Wheaton Academy Sports in general. Trying to give you as much coverage as we can of different events. We're going to do volleyball next week, maybe tennis for sure. We're doing football the next couple of days. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to throw them my way, of course. I always love compliments, too. So if you do, oh, that ball just missed a chance at Alan Rodriguez streaking over from that far side. Wheaton Academy doing a great job with possession, though. Really good soft touches there. Playing the long ball. Boy, look at that. He had to almost... Boy, Jack Kilgallen is saying right there, the referee had no angle at where that keeper picked up the ball. And Jack Kilgallen was making an argument to say he picked the ball up early, which he could have, and the official had no chance of seeing that because there was no one down there. That sideline official didn't run with the ball, as I'm sure that our bench let the official know that. She is supposed to stay at the pace of the ball at all times, and that was not happening. Seamus looking out wide to Alan Rodriguez. Filled the ball back to Seamus. Got the ball. Chris Eklund on the crossover. Oh, and just missed on the right-hand side was Jack Kilgallen. What a great attempt. Ball came back to Seamus. Eklund took it, found Jack, and it just missed sliding into the net. Here's that pass. One touch, and just missed so close.
Good attempt.
Great opportunity given by Chris Eklund, who actually has the ball right now, too. Here's Chris Eklund, number 14. Plays on defense, came all the way up. Great job. That should have been an assist. I mean, I'm not blaming Jack. It's tough to score any goal. But, wow, that was as close as it could be without going in. Great job by Chris. Looks like he's got endless energy right now. There's Jack Lichty getting the ball to Seamus. I think that's the key to this offense, don't you?
Yeah.
As Seamus seems to be controlling the middle of the field, and then he can distribute. We've seen a number of give and goes, and they've worked.
Yes.
Every time we say there's a give and go, we're looking at a shot attempt, or in the case of the first half, a goal. If you're just joining us, Warriors scored the first goal probably 10 minutes into that game. You can go back in the DVR and take a look at it. It was a give and go from Jack Kilgallen to Seamus Kilgallen, giving Jack his 12th assist on the year and Seamus his 7th goal of the year. Both beneficiaries of each other. Often that is the case. I'm sure they get along perfectly at home like all brothers do. My brother, 13 months younger than I am. His name's Tim Hockett. You want to do a Google search, Google Tim Hockett and M Burger. My brother was a co-creator of M Burger, M as the letter M, Burger. It's in Chicago and the Aurora outlet malls. And ended up at Lollapalooza this year, doing really well in their booths. But my brother does a great job. He came from Wheaton Academy. Went to Moody Bible Institute for 1 year. Didn't really feel that out and didn't want to get into education. Originally was there. Got into cooking and ended up at Washburn Culinary Arts School. Keeper had to come all the way out to the 20. Had to play a bounce pretty well. Kicked it out of play at least. Great passing right now by Wheaton Academy. Great ball control. Sam Frosling goes down, slapped the ground hard, very upset. Thinks he got fouled a little bit. Works himself back into the play. I think he's in a little bit of pain, though, as his knee, I think, is hurting a bit. Referee's talking to number 7. Carson Hooker for Timothy Christian. Throw-in is called. Wheaton Academy gets the ball, settles it back to Jack Lichty. Aiden, have you gotten over to any of the football games yet?
Yeah, I actually went to both.
Pretty big event, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
You went to the rain game?
Yep, the first game.
You are a brave man, my friend.
Yeah.
That thing was cold and wet. And in fact, that next game, did you stay for the whole time?
Yeah.
If you were watching on live stream, for starters, I wish I was watching on live stream for that game. It was an hour and a half rain delay. Actually, not a rain delay. My bad. Lightning delay, right?
Yeah.
Lightning in the distance. Closer to Chicago. About 20 miles away for sure. There's a strike. Man, that thing hit the top of the crossbar. Just missed the goal. Didn't catch RJ off guard at all. Look at this strike. Just knocks the top off. Well done by Walk Ventimilla, our close-up camera, following that ball really well. Good replay action. But, boy, that was a long time to wait. I don't think I've waited that long for a lightning delay before. Every time they saw lightning, they had to wait another 30 minutes. And it was nonstop lightning for a while. Did you huddle in the school, or did you brave it outside?
We were in the Warrior Dome.
Oh, so did you play anything?
Yeah, we actually played some basketball.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, another offsides call right by the bench. No argument from the 4 coaches that are standing nearby. So maybe that's out of respect, or maybe the fact that the player was actually offsides. That is now our 4th offsides call. So ball coming back one more time. Warriors still pressing it, making the defense stay accountable. Timothy Christian needing something in the next 16 minutes. There's a ball that skips over. I don't think that's considered a save, but it is a great play by RJ to get that, recognize that header. Great job by Jack to get his body in front there. Those things sting when that happens. Seamus with a nice little touch. Got the ball all to himself right now. Knew he was going to look to Owen. Owen putting the ball back over the top, just missing Alan Rodriguez on that header. And I think Timothy, knocked it out, and a throw-in for Wheaton Academy, giving us a chance to get a couple of players back into the game, one of which is Daniel Rinchenkov. So it's good to see him back because, man, he took a pretty hard hit. Looks like he's running without a hobble right now. Jack out of the game right now, Alan Rodriguez out of the game. So maybe giving him a breather right before the end of the game. But chances are they're not going to keep Jack out of this whole game the rest of the way. I would think they'd still want him, huh? He's been involved in every play.
Yeah.
Great play by Logan. Good sportsmanship there by number 13 for Timothy Aaron Alonzo. That's probably a good idea that Aaron Alonzo had good sportsmanship because, that might have been a card, but good choice. Actually, Aaron got hurt earlier in the game, so good to see him back out too. That's pretty good set play.
Yeah.
Just missed that header opportunity. Our replay may have just missed that play. Wheaton Academy, under 15 minutes left to play in this game. I would say it's a comfortable 1-0 lead based on what I've seen so far, Timothy. There was no real threat so far, but it just takes one moment of letdown, which you never know if that could be it. You know, a little quick shot way off to the right-hand side, but with a 1-0 lead, nothing is comfortable. So Warriors looking to see if they can extend that to 2-0 and get that lead. Probably put that game out of reach at this point. But right now, again, it doesn't feel like 1-0 is that big of a deal. But Timothy has not had that many opportunities. So we'll see if the defense can come through. We'll see how much pressure the offense puts on this Timothy team. Brian Henry, a little whiff there as he missed a chance. Daniel chasing the ball down, but I think that's going to go, the Trojans' way, signaling a throw-in, and the ball boy hustling down the field.
Yeah.
His name is Mason Brook. We might be seeing him play soccer later on. You know, if he ends up starting, I call foul. You know, that's just a dad giving his son the starting position. Maybe he'll be good enough. From what I've seen so far, Mason is good enough. Got some great skill. Also a great basketball player. Man, the kid can shoot. All right, so a throw-in for Timothy, taking a long step back, big throw-in, almost like a corner kick in that situation. Daniel not able to get a good foot on it. I'm sure coach is not happy about that. Not clearing the ball out can be disastrous in a moment when everyone thought you were clearing it out. So needing a little extra finish here. Do the job, trying to play that ball. I noticed Seamus talking to Daniel as well, so maybe Seamus mentioned the same thing. Hey, either settle the ball down at your feet or get something good on that ball. Wheaton Academy, as good of a possession team as they were all game, has been terrible right now. Wheaton Academy giving up every possession every time they touch the ball. They have not had possession of this ball here in the last 3-4 minutes. Timothy right back at it. Now this could be a strategy a little bit. Wheaton Academy settling down, playing a little defense, but my guess is Coach Brick wants a little bit more out of each touch. There it is, good pass. We'll see if we can send this long. Timothy chases that thing down, but the keeper comes out, skips across hand, just misses. Oh, that thing in slow motion looked like it was going to go in.
Wow.
Keeper comes out, and the ball just doesn't have enough. Coach Salvaggio with arms extended is saying go in, but not enough. Just spins out as Timothy gets the ball in a counterattack, has numbers. Wheaton Academy chasing the ball back down. Looks like we're a little slow on our feet as, this has been a long game. Maybe not as many substitutions coming into play. Keeper is out again, having to make a play. Might be stressing Timothy Christian coach out, but every time he's done that, it's worked to their advantage, even if it barely worked to his advantage that last time. They are close. Wheaton Academy on the brink of breaking this thing wide open. Only 9:46 left to play in this game. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you're joining us, we've talked about this before, but follow us on Instagram at The Real WA TV. Here's that tag. If you don't have an Instagram account, I'm serious. Just create an account for this. Maybe your grandson, maybe your your son or your daughter, or maybe a good friend from college that you could find and you were meant to connect with for the first time. But if anything, just create an account for the Real Raw TV. Follow us. We'll give you some updates as to when we're going to broadcast. We're broadcasting next game for football. We'll give you a reminder tomorrow. That gives you a couple of different ways to connect with us. You see at the top, it also says Twitter. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel and you're just watching tonight, hit subscribe on this YouTube channel, as that will update you as when we have a live feed. So as soon as we go live and you're subscribed, you can get a notification and you can tune in to any game we've got broadcast. This is a corner kick for Timothy. Great ball by Seamus Kilgallen to get up and get a head on it. Ball put back into play, but RJ, not surprised by that, comes out, grabs it, and a good ball onto the ground by Daniel. Maybe just wants to tip it, and he does just get enough on it. As Daniel and number 15, Andrew Vogt, are a little handsy with each other. Soccer's a contact sport, yeah?
Yeah.
You can get away with some and you can't get away with others. You got to be physical sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
And there's a fine line because, you could get called for that foul call. Referee throws her flag up again. Feels like a bad dream. Every time we get a long ball, that offsides call gets... And you can see the referee down there in the bottom corner of your screen. You can hit rewind, see if it's a good call. We're not giving you the replay on that one. But that was another opportunity taken away by maybe jumping the gun a little quick. Timothy, to their credit, doing a great job on defense, drawing us off offsides. It's a hard thing for a defense to do. It's a hard thing to trust. Jack Kilgallen looking to play a long ball. And the keeper is out again. So what I'd like to see is at this throw-in right here, don't throw the ball in so darn fast. It feels like we need to slow down pace here. There's only 6 minutes left to play. Maybe Coach Brook will start a process of getting a sub in, but what I'm assuming is with a 1-0 lead, he doesn't want to really call off our attack. You said it. One of the keys to our game is our offense.
Yeah.
And you can tell when we've had terrible offense, we've had to play more defense. The defense isn't bad, but we don't want to play more defense. We'd rather have the ball on that other side of the field. So see if we can get some control here. Jack Kilgallen with the ball in the middle of the field. Looks to take it out to the left. Gets the ball to Owen Cetron. Popular choice. And Owen plays that off his side of his foot. Doesn't go where it wanted to, and we got a goal kick ahead of us. We've heard that Jack and Owen combination tonight, right?
Yeah.
As much as probably Jack and Seamus. It tends to be where those three are playing with each other. All three, if they want to, can play this game in college. Doing a great job. Seamus with a ball to Jack. Jack's going to have a strike and just misses it on that near side. Keeper guarded that near corner. Here's that close-up shot. This is a great look, too. Little strike, and you can tell he's trying to bend that thing back around. You saw that ball spin. Boy, that was outstanding. Now Warriors get to take a little extra time off. This is actually where Wheaton Academy does really well with these set plays. Not going to bring anybody short. Jack Lichty raises, was it Jack? No, it was not. Trying to find out who raised his hand up high in that situation. It was Eli Lebo looking to say connect. Warriors got to hustle back on defense here. Timothy Christian doing a nice job. Just stab it out. Oh, actually, what I thought was just going to be an easy throw-in ends up being Wheaton Academy's possession. Timothy did not give up on it, and RJ still has the ball. He ends up picking it up off that deflection. With 4:25 left, it says go down further. Let's get this to the other side of the field and see what happens. Up top right now, until we get another sub in, number 12 is Nico
Oh, here's a chance right here.
Camiola. There's Jack. Nice little move. Boom! Right into the side of the net. Outstanding finish by Jack that time. Take a look at this replay. We'll give you this replay in a second after we get this thing off the screen. Let's say we have some technical difficulties for 1 second, but we will give you this replay one more time. All right, so we've got it all together now. We're going to give you the replay. Take a look at this replay. No, this isn't the replay either. All right, we'll get back to you on this one. An outstanding goal by Jack Kilgallen, though. Phenomenal work. I think it's his 4th goal this season. That was unassisted. He made all the moves. Doing nice work with that.
Another chance right here.
Good movement forward. Look to get that and thread that in. Did that ball end up going in?
Yep. Oh, no.
I think that went to the back side of the net. Let's see. No, that ends up being.
Wow.
That's a goal kick there. Yeah. So that ball ended up on the back side of the net instead.
It looked like it went in.
So we said it. You know, a 1-0 game was, based on what I saw of the attack pattern, a 1-0 game was out of reach already for Timothy Christian. It's nothing against them, but Wheaton Academy's defense has just shut them down. But a 2-0 lead. We're gonna assume here Wheaton Academy in the last 2.5 minutes can pull this off.
Oh.
Offsides is called on Daniel. Good pressure, though. I like that. I like not settling down on defense. Ever since they scored, they had a couple of good opportunities even after that second goal, right?
Yeah.
And that's what has helped our defense out by not having to settle. Owens, I mean, it's almost like they taste or they smell the blood in the water here. Where now they want a 3rd goal here at the end of this game. You see the score is 2-0, 1:38 left to play in this game. Warriors got their 2nd goal just a second ago by Jack Kilgallen. Nice move there to finish that off. We'll give you that replay one more time towards the end of the game.
Oh.
Undercut, played on, and now they're going to stop the ball. Free kick by Wheaton Academy. Nice drive. Boy.
Oh, good save.
And offsides called again on a free kick of all things. Boy, that's a tough one for Wheaton Academy. They practice those all the time. Sam Frosley doing a nice job there with ball control. 30 seconds left. I'd like to see Warriors maintain possession the rest of the time. Give the ball back. Foul called on Sam. Timothy has to chase this thing down, unfortunately for them. That's going to be the last 15 seconds. They might get one opportunity, but that's going to be it. Here's that long shot in. 7 seconds left. Warriors clear it out, and so it's going to end 2-0 for Wheaton Academy against conference opponent Timothy Christian and pretty good Christian school rival. Timothy Christian 5-1 1-1 coming into this game. Ends up at 5-2-1 on the season so far. And Wheaton Academy gets to 7-0 on the season.
Good record right there.
Wheaton Academy and Timothy a little chippy here towards the end. Looked like they had trouble getting into an actual line. I don't have to talk through that, but you could tell it's a this is a rivalry for both teams. It was a little physical out there. Great goals, one by Seamus, one by Jack. Twin power.
Yeah,
We needed it. RJ did a nice job
good.
in
Yep.
goal. It's a good night for Wheaton Academy. So at 8:15, we'll get you out of here on time. No overtime tonight. Warriors stay undefeated in the conference. Walk over and give an applause to their fans for coming out. Of course, again, thank you for joining us on our live stream. Our next live stream is going to be tomorrow at our football game. Aiden, thanks for joining me tonight.
No problem.
And I'm Matt Hockett. Thanking my crew of Jake, Chas, Walk, and Josh up top on cameras. Thanks for joining us tonight as the Warriors take beat Timothy Christian Trojans 2-0 and stay undefeated, going to 7-0 for the year. Join us tomorrow for football. Have a good night.